Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday morning. All right. The best and the brightest. How many times we heard that? That's who we'd like to admit into the country as immigrants who have been vetted, who can contribute to the country, right? I mean, it just makes common sense. I mean, you don't go to the store and say, or the car dealership and say, give me the crappiest car on the lot you have. No, you go, okay, give me the best car I can afford, and we'll go from there. I mean, sure, you may say Ford is better than Dodge or better than Chevy or vice versa or whatever it is, but you go for the best of what you can get, right? Why is it that politics seems to do the exact opposite? And I'm not just saying the United States. I'm saying anywhere in the world. You cannot tell me that Maxine Waters or Jasmine Crockett or Lindsey Graham or AOC or Volodymyr Zelensky or Claudia Sheinbaum or Mark Carney are the best and brightest that their respective countries have to offer. And I don't care, you pick one. I mean, somebody could say, oh, gee, you're picking politics. No, don't tell me Donald Trump is the best. Don't tell me Vladimir Putin is the best. Don't tell me Xi Jinping is the best. All right? Every one of them makes stupid decisions. Again, I talk about the biggest bonehead one Trump makes always. It's like, we're going to make Canada the 51st state. That would be a disaster for the country, period. Okay. I've made my case on that. I'm not going to rehash it. But then you get the uber stupid. And yesterday, we had a declaration of war, practically, against the United States by, of all places, Mexico. I want you to watch real quick what the President of the Mexican Senate said. It's translated, so read the subtitles, but make sure you watch the whole thing because it's very important.
Yo estuve en la Torre Trump cuando decía el presidente electo Donald Trump estaba 16 días de tomar protesta por primera vez como presidente, asumir el cargo. Y yo dije, si hacemos el muro, sí lo pagamos, pero lo hacemos con el mapa de México en 1830. Este es lo que era Estados Unidos en 1830. Y esto era parte de México, no era todo México. Si ustedes pueden ver, quizás un tercio, mínimo una cuarta parte del territorio norteamericano era parte de México hasta 1846. Fuimos despojados de estos territorios. Nosotros estábamos asentados ahí antes que la nación hoy conocida como Estados Unidos. Los tratados de Guadalupe Hidalgo establecen derechos para la gente asentada en esos territorios que no se respetaron. La ciudad de Nuevo Laredo, Laredo era una ciudad mexicana, y la ciudad de Nuevo Laredo se formó con los mexicanos que vivían en Laredo y que no quisieron quedar del lado de los Estados Unidos y se vinieron a lo que es territorio nacional. Con esta geografía, ¿cómo puede hablar de liberar Los Ángeles y California el gobierno de Estados Unidos? ¿Liberarlos de quién? Los mexicanos y mexicanas que están asentados en ese lugar están asentados en lo que ha sido su patria. Los nombres no engañan. El idioma que más se habla en Los Ángeles es español. No necesitas hablar inglés para estar en Los Ángeles. Y estamos en la situación actual. Esto es parte de Estados Unidos. Sí, el gobierno de Estados Unidos tiene derecho a instrumentar las medidas que considere migratorias convenientes, ciertamente, pero no tiene derecho a violentar la dignidad de las personas migrantes. No tiene derecho a separar las familias, no tiene derecho a someterlos al sufrimiento, a la persecución, al acoso. no tiene derecho a violar la ley que el propio gobierno de Estados Unidos y el pueblo de Estados Unidos se dio.
Like that? Okay. So it's like I said, Mexican Senate President Gerardo Fernandez Noroña. And this is what he's talking about in regards to all the illegals in the United States, that it's their land and they're just reclaiming what's rightfully theirs. Excuse me? I don't think so. I mean, again, we've got another politician who doesn't have a clue. He even mentioned in there a little bit of it, but he doesn't understand us. You do realize that we originally acquired Texas through the Treaty of Velasco in 1836, okay, when they established their independence from Mexico, and then Texas later decided to join the United States. California, a lot of the rest of the West, if you will, well, that was acquired through the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848, which ended the Mexican War. And oh, by the way, after Mexico surrendered, so we could have just said spoils of war, we paid them $15 million. Now, $15 million in 1848 was worth a hell of a lot more than 1 year's salary for some defensive lineman in the NFL. Okay. This is literally what the Mexican government is saying, that they have a right to be in this land. It's theirs. By your logic there, Mr. President, Mr. Senate President, I guess maybe we should throw you out of government and give the entire territory of Mexico back to Spain. After all, it was Spanish territory before you declared your independence and Mexico became an independent nation. No, doesn't work. I mean, shall we go back to, I don't know, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Ottoman Empire? I mean, things change, you know. Gee, I'm sorry there, Mr. Senate President. Maybe we should go back, I don't know, 50 years, and there are no cell phones and no internet, and therefore you don't even have the opportunity to say what you said in this moronic speech. I've said this before. The United States is not a landmass. And people are like, what do you mean it's not a landmass? The United States is an ideal. It's the people. It's the mentality we have, which is being destroyed by a lot of people in the United States right now. Talked about it the other day. This country has always been built on hard work. This country has always been built on your freedoms to do whatever. And we've prospered economically. We are the most prosperous country in the history of the world because democracy was tried and succeeded in the United States. The rule of law succeeded in the United States. We squashed the criminal elements, the mafia, the Al Capone era, the bootleggers and that sort of stuff. We do a halfway decent job of at least keeping the cartels at bay. If we could only do something about keeping the criminals in Washington, D.C. down, that would be really helpful. But why is it that Mexico thinks if they got California or they got Texas or Arizona or New Mexico or any of that territory back, that all of a sudden it would make them a super wealthy country and a world power? It wouldn't. Okay? It wouldn't. There's no difference between the soil on one side of the Rio Grande and soil on the other side of the Rio Grande. It doesn't matter. It's the people that make the difference. The people on the northern side of the Rio Grande decided, hey, we're going to bust our butts. We're going to abide by a rule of law. We're going to have the sheriff get rid of all the bad guys, think of old Western movies or something like that. And people are going to be able to live safe and prosperous lives. The people on the south side of the border said, now we'll let the criminal elements just run everything. And this is the difference. This idiot thinks he wants to build a wall halfway up into the continental United States, and that's going to make Mexico prosperous. It's not. It's just going to make the United States Mexico again, okay? That real successful country down there that would die if it wasn't for American dollars, okay? Because, the peso is so valuable as a world reserve currency. How many times do you go into the bank and say, can I change my dollars to pesos because I'm worried about the value of the dollar dropping? Right? I mean, have you ever done that? You even go down to Mexico, years ago as a tourist, but even now, go to Cancun, go to Cozumel, go to Acapulco, whatever it was. They'll happily take American dollars and give you a discount for American dollars versus paying in pesos. You go into some of the tourist areas, they don't even want pesos. They'll only take dollars. That tells you the difference. They need us. And this idiot is like, yeah, you know what? That's our territory. That's the native land of our people. And we can go back before them and say, gee, that's the native land of many Native American tribes. The world changes, okay? We go back before the Native American tribes, right? Who was here? There's historical evidence that Vikings actually had gotten to the United States at times before the American Indians ever got here. You can go through history all you want and say, oh, this area was so-and-so or this area was so-and-so. Go through Europe. They change religions, they change ethnicities on landmasses like most of us change underwear. Go look at a map of 1925 of Europe and see how many countries there were the names of the countries there were then versus the names of the countries now. Okay? Making my point. Things change. No, you aren't entitled to anything. This is a declaration of war. This is another comment, like Claudia Scheinbaum's, of we have a right. No, you don't. You are nobody. You are no more important in the United States than I am, or you are, or anybody else. Okay, you are just another person. You have no authority whatsoever in this country. Oh, they may say you're a dignitary from another country. Exactly, from another country. Okay, none. Period. Okay. So when you get these illegals come in, they're from another country who also aren't here welcomed, let's put it this way. So, contrary to what the liberal left will tell you, they have no constitutional rights, right? Understand this clearly. Illegal aliens, if you are in the United States illegally, you are not protected by the Constitution. I'm telling you that. If you are here illegally, you do not have constitutional rights in the United States. You do not have the right to free speech. You do not have the right to own a gun. You do not have the right to a speedy trial. You are here illegally, okay? You have the right to be deported. That is the one right you have, okay? You go back where you are bound by the law. But they want to make this, we'll build the wall up through Denver and everything like that. Right. Good luck. Let me see. Hey, Texans, let me ask you, how well would you respond to a Mexican invasion? We don't even need the military. I got full faith in the Texas population that they would stop any attack by Mexico. Okay. No problem whatsoever. But I wanted to make you aware of this because, again, we know Claudia Scheinbaum, her administration, the Mexican government is a socialist government, okay? This is on our border. Just Be aware of this, okay? But this is the audacity that they have, that, like I was talking to you yesterday about moral superiority, and how the Mexicans are now saying how they have moral superiority to us. No. I'll treat you as an equal, but I'll be damned if I'm ever going to bend a knee to you. And you aren't getting 1 grain of sand from Texas. Not happening. Okay? We defeated you in a war that you started. We took the land, and out of the grace of our goodness, actually paid you for it. We could have just told you, GTFO, it's ours now. You don't like it, pound sand. All right? Kick rocks. Guys, if you're down south, be somewhat on alert that this is what the Mexican government is telling their people. They're telling their people that they have the right to be in your country, in your state, in your city, in your neighborhood. We need to start explaining to them who sets the parameters north of the Rio Grande. And it ain't them. Pinball out.